All right, so what are acute and obtuse angles? Well, let's go back and kind of remember where we even came up with acute and obtuse angles, right? Remember, there's a couple different types, and actually I'm even going to talk about them. We had straight angles, that two rays that made up a straight line. Then we had a right angle, right, one that had a 90-degree measure. Then we had acute, that were between 0 and 90.
Could you come to the main office, please? Ms. Rosa, could you come to the main office, please?
Then we had angles that were between 90 and 180, which we called obtuse. So this is what we call a straight angle. Here's what we call a right angle. Angles that were between 190 and 180 were obtuse, and ones that were between 0 and 90 were acute. Right? And that was when we were talking about degrees. But now what I'd like to do is relate that to radian measure. And remember, when we're talking about radians, we're going to look at a circle. The easiest way I always like to work with my circle and radians is if we don't move anywhere, we're at 0. Halfway around a circle is pi. All the way around is 2 pi, right? Because we're going off the unit circle where our radius is 1. Remember, the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Radius is 1, so it's just 2 pi. So we have 2 pi. So then halfway between 0 and between 0 and pi would be we'll call pi over 2, and this would be 3 pi over 2. All right? So what we look at here is if we have a straight angle, our straight angle is going to be any angle that is going to have a measure of exactly pi. So your angle is when theta is going to equal pi. A right angle is when your angle theta is going to equal pi over 2. Now, an acute angle is going to be for any angle that is going to be between 0, which is less than theta, which is less than pi over 2. So it has to be all angles that are going to be less than pi over 2, but greater than 0. And all your obtuse angles are going to be all angles that are going to be between pi over 2 and pi. So we could say pi over 2, which is less than x, or we're not going to use x though, we're going to use theta, which is less than pi. So those are going to be your definition of all your obtuse angles. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you can define acute and obtuse angles in radians. Thanks.